bonjour. It's a different approach, Gav. It's not your usual. We're back.
How long that take?
Episode about 7 seconds. We're back, episode 20. We're joined with Ciaran Murray, Jordan Murray, Scott Frank, and David Daly. Together, they form. That sound like Transformers. Arcade State. How are you, chaps?
Aye, great, mate. Good.
Magic, good.
Nah,
good.
Thanks for having us on.
Oh, thanks for being on.
Pleasure.
At the same time.
Aye.
Hi, I know. You are actually becoming quite a big deal according to the numbers that you've sent out, mate, to Spotify, yeah?
The statistics, they don't lie, do they?
Stats. They don't. I just tend not to look at mine because, but yours, Gav, sorry. Because they definitely lie.
I look at them about 15 times a day and they never seem to change. Hopefully you will help us.
Oh aye, big time. 100%. 4 handsome individuals like that.
And vice versa.
Oh.
You can help us.
As we count as 4.
Uh-huh.
But aye, so...
He didn't say we were handsome. Yeah,
I know, mate.
He didn't say that.
Let it go, Kenny.
What do you think we need for the state of
thanks, mate. The first time I've had a compliment on this podcast.
Well,
so I appreciate it. So, but aye, thanks for coming on, guys. As I say, we're just going to dive in with some questions for you. We'll talk quite a lot about what you have planned for the future, what you have done so far, how you have grown and stuff like that. So, so we'll just start off then. So, first of all, relatively new band, but brought some decent tunes. You've just released a new song called Fall. Was 2 weeks ago?
Friday.
Was it Friday? Was it Friday?
Yeah. Friday, mate. Friday, bro.
Pretty good response so far to the over the stats tell it, as we said. So you have kind of posted it on social media and stuff. Was it 551 views in 24 hours or something like that?
Up to aye,
nearly just about to cross 1,000 now.
Wow.
Video's nearly 2k. 2k views on the video.
The video? So
1k on Spotify.
Where's the video? On YouTube?
Video's on Facebook.
Video on Facebook. So you can do us on Facebook now as well?
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
the times, man.
The video's on Facebook. It was filmed by my friend from the airport, Greg Conn. I think you've played football with him, Kenny.
I've played football with Greg.
So
what a guy.
Done a video for us, and it was quite last minute, wasn't it? It was quite rushed. So I think you've done quite a good job considering the time limit, and there was like literally no concept or anything like that.
So you
That's
just
class.
turned up in the middle of the woods and recorded a video.
In the woods with the funkiest shirt I could find.
And
no the first time,
No. Oh, definitely not.
Can we Peter Pan's shoes?
That's me. Not class.
Not class, man. Did you give them back?
No, they're mine. Not them, man.
No, they're yours.
So you looked at the videos I sent you of Dave's outtakes?
Oh, aye, 100%.
Your boots, man!
So, chaps, what we'll do, if we can just start off, we'll go to Jordan and Ciaran, and if you can just kind of explain what role in the band you have. First of all, you are brothers, so
yes,
be nice to each other, mate. Be nice.
Well, since it's no on a football pitch, I think we're fine.
Aye, they're horrible to each other on the football pitch.
Very much so.
Very much.
Can I just say, actually, before we move into the intros, first time I met Jordan when you said morning on a football pitch. The first time I met you, Jordan, we played sevens up at Scotstoun, and for I met you before it, nicest guy as can be, really pleasant, going on a football pitch, and him and Ferry just shouted at each other for the whole hour on the pitch.
Even heaven and hell. Believe me, I want to be in heaven. So I want to be that guy.
So Jordan, what's your role? We'll start with yourself. What's your role in the band?
I play the drums.
Play the drums, right. What about yourself, Ciaran?
I'm a guitarist and vocalist.
Nice, good singer then. Scott?
I'm keys and backing vocals.
Right. And yourself, David?
I muck about with the bass.
Clapping the bass.
Slap the bass.
you know how nice and serious that was up until David got a shot?
I like it light-hearted, bro. I like it light-hearted. Nah, but I play the bass.
We'll talk about when I went to the studios later on, because that was a nice wee experience.
I was raging.
Right, so we've all said your names. We've all said what you play. So this is just going to be. We'll go Ciaran, Jordan, Scott, David, just because the way he's on my screen. It's no favouritism towards anybody. Quick answers, no messing about. Right?
I can just let a chase, man.
And if you answer any of them wrong, it'll be fine because nobody will know unless they know you personally. Right? So, Ciaran, where are you from?
Glasgow.
Jordan?
Aye, Glasgow.
Scott?
Air.
David? Playback.
Absolutely fantastic. This sounds like I'm giving you some sort of examination. But
I know, man.
Ciaran.
Right, so we all know what instruments you play. How long he's been playing them for, Ciaran?
10 years.
10. Jordan?
Is it, man? Fucking hell. For probably about 14, 15 years.
Scott?
Real
long.
5 years.
Lovely. David?
About 6 years.
6 years. So you no, you're not the baby.
He's only 12.
He's only 12. Get minors. Took him in his base bag to get him in the gigs.
His life. He's going to play in the band. Doing nothing about it.
Right. How many bands have you played in?
That's my first.
Jordan?
I've played in a few, probably 4 or 5.
Skeet?
I'm about 15.
Wow.
Nice. David?
4 myself as well.
Nice.
You're well trained, mate.
Finish your medical. How far can Arcade State go?
Quite far, I'd say, aye. Got potential, that's for sure.
Right, Jordan?
I would agree we've got potential, but we need to work hard. Aye. Don't want to be big-headed or anything like that. Just need to put in the work in the studio and keep the content coming on social media and stuff, and just hopefully people keep giving us the support.
Lovely, very well. That sounds like you've been PR trained in it. That was beautiful. Scott?
I just refining the sound of what we're going to do, and I'm only 2 days into the band, like, so refining everything about it, and then making sure that we've got a show that's going to blow your face clean off your face.
Absolutely brilliant. That's the kind of chat I want. This is what I want on here all the time. Right, David, top bat.
I think we can go over the horizons, mate. Wee inside joke for you, bro. Wee inside joke for you, mate.
You write that last night, Dave?
I had it sitting for weeks, man. As soon as I said we were going on, that was it.
So, explain the inside joke because Gavin doesn't get it.
Oh, you
need to let it outside.
Ciaran used to be called Horizons.
Aye, the band. Ciaran's first name wasn't Horizons.
No.
I'm always like that, man.
So when was the first time, obviously, Scott, you're just obviously new into the band. Was it the first time you all played together? Was that when Kenny came and watched?
Yeah, it was the second time.
The second, aye.
So when was the first time you actually got together, all of yous, and had a proper session?
The week before that, there.
Right. And it's because Kenny, Kenny, you can talk about it now, but when you went, you said, like, Kenny was texting me through it and stuff like that afterwards, and he's like, it's mental because you just sound as if you've always been together, do you know what I mean? Or it's been longer than what it has been. And do you think, because you are all kind of fairly established in what you play and stuff like that, do you think you can go, like, into any situation and just slowly, well, very quickly actually, just kind of settle in because you know what you're doing, you know what everybody else knows what they're doing, all that kind of thing? Is it a lot easier to just fit in?
I feel quite comfortable in my ability to play the drums, so I feel like I could go into most bands and at least put a good performance in. And I think Scott and David, as I've only played with them, what is it, like 9 hours in total? Aye. 9 hours in total, and it just came naturally. Like four gifted musicians are just playing together, and it just clicked straight away. And it's sounding good. It's sounding quite good so far.
What I was saying when I came out of the studio was like, how long have you been playing? Aye, sounded very, very, very good. It sounds as if you have been together for a lot longer than hours. I mean, it sounds as if you.
It's actually only 6 hours we've been playing together.
Is it 6 hours?
Only 6 hours, aye.
6 hours, so not even a full shift, really, is it? It's not a full
2% of the
working man
weekend.
shift.
Oh, yeah, Kieran's back. Kieran's got a fact for you.
Ciaran, give us a fact, go.
Well, in bands, normally out of a week, there's like 100 odd hours a week. I don't know the exact number. There's 100 odd hours a week. So realistically, a band's only going to get in to rehearse 2 times a week for 3 hours at a time. So 6 hours of the week's only 2% of the week. So you've only got 2% of the week to practice. It's mental when you think it that way.
A great fact in it. There's just a bunch of wee guys trying to play football outside and they're getting really angry with each other, guys.
I thought I heard something going on there, man.
I saw your face, Scott.
It's no me.
I live out in the back country, man. Like that's what I was
grabbing his chainsaw and whipping it about. Yes, mate.
Here's a question for you, right? I know we're here to talk about the guys, but have you ever been to in a studio before when somebody's been performing?
Have I been into a studio before? No,
watching.
Oh, sorry, I did when Jordan was in Elan Few. I watched them record the. Is it an EP, wasn't it?
Aye, it was an EP.
I remember I watched them playing that. Record that. Sorry.
What was the experience like for you? Was it just weird to be in there? And
it was just weird because it wasn't them all playing together. It was the individual parts getting kind of pieced together and recorded at a very good level, as opposed to just them jamming and practicing songs. It was weird. So I've seen both sides of the coin now. I've seen a band in a studio practicing, and also was lucky enough to see Jordan Tam Ferry record their EP.
Yeah, brilliant. See, for you guys, we'll go to Scott first. What's the most enjoyable thing about being in the studio for yourself?
working out the vocal harmonies, man. Right. I love singing with other people. So, and most of the bands I've been in, I've always been the lead singer, and it's nice just to focus on the harmonies for a change. It's like what I love doing is like I just think like having a band that the harmonies like fit really well. It just really brings the performance to like a whole new level, man. Yeah. When you're watching bands and it's just the one singer all the time, regardless of how like talented that person is, like you feel like you need something more. That's why a lot of singers who have bandmates that don't sing, like they use backing tracks so that they've got the harmonies coming through, because you need it. You need it to put on that kind of performance.
It gives it an extra wee 5 or 10% in it when you listen to somebody when they've got backing vocals.
Oh,
definitely. Even Ed Sheeran, I know I pure love him. I can't get enough of him. He records when he's using his loop pedal. He records backing vocals.
Aye.
But even when he's performing, so even regardless of yourself or no.
We'd think Ed Sheeran is like a sponsor on this podcast, because I think we mentioned
he texted me the other day. He texted me and said, "Connie Stope it. Connie just get a buy. You give me a
Connie
bad
Stope
name."
it, start paying me.
Aye.
Right, what about yourself, David? What's the best thing about being in the studio for yourself?
See, when you get a new idea or song finished, and it's like you finish on the last note and everybody's just looking at it thinking this is class, mate. That's my favourite bit of it.
The favourite bit.
Right, Jordan and Ciaran, you have had a wee bit of time to think about it now, so top it. What's it for you?
Mine's is probably the same as Dave's, man. See, when you get working on a new song, it's like you just know that it's a good song. Like as soon as you start playing it and it comes together, you just know that's the best feeling. You know you've wrote a good song.
Yeah, it's a hard thing.
What about coming up with the idea for a song? Is that not just as exciting? Or are you no sure about a new song because you've not heard
you're never sure
product?
about a song that you write until you've took it into the studio.
Really?
Oh, aye.
That's a good bit. Right, Jordan.
I think probably for Ciaran, who obviously he's writing all the songs at the moment, so he'll have a vision when he writes a song, how he thinks it's going to sound. So he'll have like in his head how the drums are going to sound and how the bass is going to sound, etc. But it never goes that way. I think we've obviously all got our own ideas and how we think it should sound. And obviously we're usually spot on with individually what we play, and when you piece it together, and as David and Ciaran said, when you play a song and you finish and you're just all looking at each other because you know you've just created something, and there's a better feeling than creating a new song, and you know how good it is.
It's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
See when you said that there about Ciaran writing the songs and stuff like that. Ciaran, we've had a couple of podcasts now. Obviously, we had one with Tam, who used to write songs and stuff like that. We had a girl on for episode 19, Angelica, who's trying to make it, obviously, a singer-songwriter as well. And we've kind of spoke about the process of writing songs and how it actually comes about.
Aye.
Would you probably agree? So basically what they said is it's a lot more, like, see when you sit down and you try and write a song, nine times out of 10 you're just not going to do it. Would you say the same?
It's
is it all about ideas?
Normally if I'm out at the shop and I come in to the shop, then my head just goes bang, or there's an idea, so you kind of just got to go and get the guitar out and start trying to write that way.
Singing a bit Monster Munch, you know that?
Monster Munch. Frazzles, man.
What about yourself, Scott?
Have you wrote songs?
Not for Arcade State, no.
No.
But previously?
Is your process
I write,
is your process the same as everybody else's?
No, I write every day. So like I've got like a structure to my writing. So I started off like that, and I was like that for years, and then like kind of 2 or 3 years ago, I started like writing every day, like setting aside kind of half an hour to write every day, and since then I find it easier to kind of piece together like where I want a song to go. But I much prefer kind of taking somebody else's, like if somebody's like for example, like one of the songs that Ciaran's written, if he brings it into the studio, like I get my kind of joy for taking the thing that he's written to the next level. You know what I mean? And then it's almost as if like John will bring it in, Ciaran will bring it in, and then it gets passed to the rhythm section, and then it comes to me, and then it's one. Do you know what I mean? It's never just each thing individually is never just one thing. It's got to be all together. And my favourite part of that is just kind of cementing it all together and trying to lift it.
Right. So what's this actual kind of start to finish process? I take it changes a wee bit. So like, say Ciaran comes in, he's written lyrics. Do you come in and say, well, I could, if he starts maybe singing it, do you then come up with some sort of music and then Jordan will play in, and how does it work?
I think so far the way I've done it with the bass parts, I wait until I hear what kind of chords Ciaran will be playing along with. I think that's fair to say that's how it's gone. Apart from one of the new ones, the Rabbit Hole. We've got, I think I just kind of make a trendy bass line. I was like, oh, here you go, mate. They liked it, mate. So.
And see for yourself, Ciaran, what do you tend to write music through? Would you play a couple of chords and then try and fit the words into it, or would you write the words first? And
it's most of the time I'll write down a wee guitar part and then try build like a melody and then lyrics and stuff in that guitar part. So most of them are like that.
Jordan just turns up, bash the drums, goes bish bash bosh, easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
You make it sound easy.
It does look. See when you play it, it does look easy. Like
that's
years and years ago, like I must have been about 10 years ago. Jordan used to have drums in your room, eh?
Oh, aye.
So I've heard I tried to hear Jordan play drums a few times, and I thought
your neighbours must have fucking hated you, man.
I know they probably did, but the good thing is that I don't.
Never gave a fuck.
I didn't care, right? Because I wanted to get better at the drums, and the good thing is my mom, she supported it. So obviously she was like, as long as you play at appropriate times, there's never an appropriate time to play the drums in the house.
No,
you know what I mean. But obviously you try and play at an appropriate time, whatever that may be. But she always supported it, so I felt good about that. I felt comfortable at playing them.
Oh, here's a good question. Do you think that's how you're so good at them? Because you had that time to do that? Not a lot of people have access to drums.
I don't think a lot of people, like, when I was obviously like 16, 17, would have been allowed like a full acoustic drum kit in the house.
Not at all.
Unlucky, mate.
You'd have to get one of the wee electric ones that you plug in and you can.
Oh, there's David. Look, David's showing off his.
Aye, so I just
his stuff.
used to put my earphones in and just try and play along to like songs,
Aye.
and I just got better.
One time I was in Jordan's and he went, "Tell me any song, and I'll play it." True to form, man. I think I'd seen about 7-8 songs, and it was, man. He's just bashing it out. Like,
Were they all Ed Sheeran songs? I know.
Aye,
no,
and the reason I bashed it is because there's no drums.
I just dropped the sticks and went, "The idea about music, mate. I'm away." But no, he tried to teach me how to play drums, Gav.
I played the drums in school, man.
I know. But we'll not talk about you, then we'll talk about me. So he tried to teach me how
I
to...
also played the drums in school.
You've done a lot better, mate.
I get told I was crap.
Oh, did you?
So obviously you had Tam on the podcast.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So I was the exact same mindset as him.
Aye, I was
If somebody's going to tell me I'm crap at something, I'm going to prove them wrong.
Aye.
So I have with the drums. So I can't remember the guy's name, Mr. Dodson. Get it up, you.
How do you like me now? But
you're in the band.
Jordan gave me about a 5-minute lesson. He went, "Mate, you've no coordination. It's not going to
Not happening."
And I said, "That's fine, mate. I'm quite happy with me being absolutely atrocious at this. It was so difficult."
And look at where you're now.
I know. I'm standing here drum kitless and just talking to you about your drums.
Running a podcast.
Gav's running it. I just
no
join.
A joint venture, isn't it?
Aye.
Here's a question. So we'll start off with David. What's the earliest memory you have? Was it the instrument that you're playing just now, or what your earliest musical instrument memory?
First proper guitar I got, I don't know, I think I must have been about 8 or something. And I just it was just like a wee kind of like one of Fender kind of rip-off models. I think it was got an Elevation or something, just basic black and white guitar Strat model. That I picked up and I just expected to be fucking amazing at it. And so I was like, well, I don't know how to do it, and guitar isn't for me, and I put it away for years till I watched. It's tragic to say, but I rewatched School of Rock when I was about 11. I was like,
what a film!
I'm playing guitar again. So
Jack Black's cracking, eh?
Aye. Brilliant. Funny.
Basic Blink-182 songs, learning power chords. No, eventually I was like, nah, with this.
So, what about yourself, Scott?
I started off with saxophone, man.
Wow.
Wow.
Jazz hands.
I was obsessed with like fucking Bruce Springsteen and stuff like that when I was younger, and I just thought that like anybody that's got a saxophone, like that's just how they play. That's just how they play. And then once I started getting into it, and then my teacher that I had was like mad classical saxophonist, man. So like he didn't even like jazz music, he didn't like blues music, he didn't like rock or anything. It was just like classic all the way, and I wasn't allowed to play anything like that, anything that I wanted to play really. And I was so young at the time, I was only maybe like 12-year-old, so I didn't really want to say, well, get it up you. So that it just completely put me off playing the saxophone, man. Like completely put me off. I thought about maybe picking it back up, but I've got enough on my plate at the now, like.
I'll keep focusing on this band, boy.
Aye.
Or work the saxophone into the band. Just be like, this would sound pure cool. Like
Christ, I need to relearn it all, man. I've still got one. I've still got a saxophone, like, but oh no, man.
That's your earliest memory. That's class, man. I didn't expect that to come out your mouth at all there.
No, not at all. Because you automatically just assume that
that's that one instrument that person's playing just now they've always played. Aye. No,
exactly. What about yourself? Oh, sorry, mate, on you go.
No.
It's just agreeing with my great comment there.
Oh, right.
That was a smashing comment, man.
Thanks, Scott. Appreciate it. Jordan, earliest instrument memory? Drums?
Probably, to be honest, high school with Tam. So Tam was always into guitar and singing. So I always thought drums was cool anyway and cooler. So I just tried to start playing the drums, and we decided to start a wee band. We were terrible, absolutely terrible. But It was good. It was good fun. I had fun in school. Like you think you're cool, but I was crap at the start.
Yeah, you were cool, man. You were cool.
Jordan, see when you're talking about like obviously learning it in school, right? Because as I say, I done them in school. See when you were trying to learn them, is it the same way it probably was for me? So you had to, if whatever class you were in, say it was like a foundation or a general or whatever, do you get a list of songs that you pick for and you work towards your exam, or?
It was the songs were picked for you, and it was obviously you had to read the drum music. I couldn't do that either. I can't read drum music.
Aye,
well,
it's funny.
I couldn't back then anyway. I don't even know if I could try, but I just wanted to play. I just wanted to hit them back then.
Aye. It's funny when you say about no reading music though, because there's quite a lot of musicians that like no got an interest in doing it. Like Dave Grohl, he said he doesn't know any guitar. Well, he knows the chords obviously to play them, but if somebody said play a fucking G, C or whatever, he would process that in his brain. He just needs to watch it or listen to it.
I've no clue. I think the only one in this band that has really got a clue is Scott.
I've no got a clue either.
I've only got a very kind of rough, kind of half-first clue. I was pish most of the time.
What about yourself, Ciaran?
Literally know nothing.
No?
But how did you get the first music memory?
Oh, that? Probably your big brother. No.
Aye.
Declan. My twin brother Declan got bought this red guitar when we were younger. We were really young. And it got snapped there his knee and launched in the stair. So
classic.
How did that come about?
But after that, it's kind of like my granddad, he played the guitar as well. So every time I was doing it at my granddad's, I was picking up his guitar and it kind of just came through there. But I never started properly trying to learn it till I was maybe 13.
Right.
And then that's when I started really getting into it. I'd spend literally all my time
on YouTube,
in school, during breaks and stuff, just in the wee music room, just try to learn how to play.
Just obsessed with it.
Aye.
When did you start incorporating singing?
Well, singing. So, in a music exam, you need 2 instruments.
Right.
And I only had the guitar, so I was going to either try drums or keyboard, but the teacher said it was too late. He's like, what about singing? I said, well, I don't sing. And he's like, well, it's your only option, so come in and sing the song, and then told me I could sing. So
I always commend people who can actually sing, like in front of, like, what I mean, when you're in school, because was there a wee part of you thinking, I'm going to get slagged here for singing, even though now obviously you're growing up and stuff, you think, why was I even worried? But in my school anyway, if somebody was singing, there was a wee bit of, what's he think? Do you know what I mean? Did you have anything like that?
The reaction was kind of different.
Right.
Like when I started singing and I started posting like videos on like Facebook and stuff, it kind of a lot of attention and stuff, because there were obviously not many people that there in school that was singing and playing the guitar and stuff. You know what I mean? So
definitely.
The reaction was quite good.
And is anybody in the band, like, see, because you're quite musically, I don't know what you would call it, musically talented, can you kind of play different instruments as well? Maybe not at the same level, obviously, as what you play. No, Jordan's just
I can literally only play the drums, right, and probably the triangle. But Scott plays a lot of instruments. Scott can play a lot.
Right, Scott, what gives a list? What can you throw down?
I can play like guitar and bass and piano and keys and all that. That's really it.
Oh, just the 4 then? Just the 5.
So, and Ciaran's talking about obviously in school and you had to pick 2 instruments.
Aye.
My second instrument was the xylophone.
Wow, man.
Oh my God. Playing the entertainer.
I fucking loved the xylophone, man.
What about yourself, David? Have you ever... Obviously, you played the guitar before the bass guitar, but...
That's about it, mate, for me.
Aye. What about singing?
Kind of. Not to the extent of Ciaran or Scott, but
aye.
Can make bearable noises in my throat.
I can make noise.
That's the thing with this band. Obviously, Ciaran is a brilliant singer, but backing vocals, Scott's an incredible singer as well. So I think it's rare for a band to have that.
Aye,
And
just complement each other.
Aye, hearing the harmonies for the first time in the studio, like Scott literally came in and had already written the harmony parts, and playing the song the first time and hearing it, it just sounded brilliant. So to have two vocalists like that, I think it's going to be
It's a big strength.
Live.
It's a huge strength. Aye, definitely.
I think our voices work really well together as well, because they're quite similar in a lot of ways, and but they're different enough to like
you can
gel
tell
well together. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
You can tell it's just I'm not singing exactly what Ciaran's singing at any one time. So I think it works quite well.
Nearly threw the mic away there, Scott. Did you see how shocked and quick Mary?
So excited was there?
I was just excited. I was wanting to jump in, Jordan. Well, Scott's probably, as we said, the only one that can read music. There's a podcast I listen to, and the guy is the Hamish and Andy one, and I'll mention them and all. They're radio hosts and they do TV, but they done like a mad no spoof, but they took the piss and made a band and they toured it, and Hamish was a drum player and he can't play the drums, he just took it up because it looked cool. And he said, I try to read music, can't do it, I'll just vibe it out. I'll just, like you were saying, that you've just kind of listened to the song over and over and over and you've picked up and you've been exceptionally good at it. He says he's the man that can feel music. Do you also feel that you're another man who can feel music?
I can definitely feel the music. Aye.
Okay, that's good.
Like, see, when you're playing a song in the studio, you know when the next part's coming. Like you know when to take it to the next level. You know when to come back down to the verse. So if you structure a song, it's usually verse, chorus, breakdown, and end. You just automatically know when that's coming. Well, for me anyway,
or where it should be anyway.
Where it should be, I think you can naturally feel it when you're playing, and you know when to go that next level.
Do you think that's all down to like counts of 8 and counts of
82 and 16 and?
Can you just hear it?
I don't count. No, I don't.
You genuinely just feel it, and that's
just play, and I feel it. Aye.
Like, you know, if something, say like if a song's too long or something, you know that you need to take bits out of it, or you need to put this bit in a different place in the song. It's just, I don't know, it's as I said, you just know.
Songs can change a lot as well. You can start with an idea and it can be completely different from what the end product is as well.
Yeah.
Because you need to work on the idea. You can't just take the first thing everybody writes.
You can't be rigid with a music. Like if Ciaran comes in with a song and says,
come up with better stuff, aye.
Aye. No, that's interesting. Do you feel music as well, David?
I suppose so. Because I'm horrible with, like I was speaking about earlier, like, I can't particularly read music very well, and I'm like dyslexic on top of that. So even when I make a temp, man, I'm just looking at it. These are squiggles on a page. So I play everything by ear.
I'm no dyslexic, but it looks like squiggles on a page to me as well, mate. So you're right there. That's exactly
what it is.
I was going to say that's exactly what it looks like.
I'd play everything by ear, and like even learning what songs are already.
Do you think that makes you a bit more creative as well, because you're not thinking about like trying to piece something together on paper? You're just feeling it and thinking about it. Do you know what I mean? Rather than playing it.
I think it does, because like on top of that as well, if you're having to do it and on the spot, you don't need to panic and rely on bits of paper and time signatures and blobs.
If you forget where you're on the page, you can just
make up a new one.
Aye.
Does that suit? See, because Ciaran, you're writing the songs. I'm sure Scott at some point will be contributing because he's a very talented man. Does that work better for you because you're not stuck to notes and everything's quite rigid? It's just very flexible. He's just in the studio vibing out. And
I've definitely been able to write a song where I had to literally physically write everything in that song down.
No, better to have a bit of fast and loose with it and be creative in it.
Aye, definitely much better.
Is there a like, see when you have kind of got an idea together for a song, how many, I don't want to say how many times on average, right, but do you need to amend like quite a lot of the song before you have it perfect?
Aye, 100%.
What sort of things do you just change, like the keys or what
I think you try and start off as simple as possible to get the core of the song done.
Right.
And then you'll start adding like wee extra bits. Say for me on the drums, I'll keep it simple at first, and then the more you play the song, you kind of start hearing other bits that you could be playing.
Mm-hmm.
So you attempt them, and if it works, you add it in, and the song just evolves for that. And I think it's the same with like guitar parts and like keys and bass. I think it's kind of the same idea.
Aye, cool, man.
Definitely.
It's quite interesting because I've had it. Obviously, a song like the song you've released there, Fall. I'm assuming obviously some bands when they play gigs, they have like an extended version and stuff like that. Is that stuff that you do? You rehearse for that, or is that stuff you're enjoying that much and you all feel it and you can kind of drag it out? But
well, if we're rehearsing for like a live set and where we're going to play a gig, then we can rehearse like songs to be played in a way where maybe it's got this big intro, or maybe it's got a bit in the song where we all stop and like say you get the crowd involved to sing. Like we can rehearse the songs, although we know what the song is. Like if we're going to record it, we can rehearse a song and kind of open it up and leave spaces for stuff like crowd interaction and stuff.
Well, so you actually need to rehearse that quite a lot. Rather than
I think the main thing is you don't want to just go on and play your certain songs. We want it to be a show.
You want to mix it up a bit, and
it's almost
we want to put on a show, so we want people to enjoy it, and we want say we do a gig and people are listening to our songs, and they'll kind of come with the idea of knowing what to expect. We'll try and create a show, and they'll go, "Wow, I didn't expect that. That's not in the recording."
That's like, see when you go and see somebody and you go, "Wow, have you seen them live? Oh, they're way better live."
Aye.
That's the goal, man. See if you can't emulate what you're putting down in a recording, then I think it's pointless, because people are going to pay money to go see you. They're going to want the product that you're trying to sell online. Do you know what I mean?
Aye. I don't just want to turn up to a gig buzzing and you just press play on your album and you play your album.
Exactly.
You want to sound as close as possible to your recording, so you don't want to like. Obviously, when you're recording, you do it individually.
Yeah.
So there's time to put extra stuff in and make the song bigger. But if you add stuff in that you can't play live, then I just don't agree with it personally.
It's redundant. It's pointless.
One thing you said there, we talked about kind of making it a show for your fans, right? So one thing I always do you guys know Ben Howard?
Somebody's dog's get loose.
That's fine, mate.
Oh, your dog's escaped.
Sorry, Gav.
No, you're fine, mate. So I'm quite a big fan of Ben Howard, right? And he had these two songs that he brought out kind of good few years ago now, called Old Pine and Only Love, right? Which is two biggest songs. And I'd bought a ticket to go and see him in Usher Hall in Edinburgh. And based on these songs, right, I liked his album, but I went and I sat through the whole thing. It was like just maybe an hour and a half or something like that. And then he says, right, that's me done. Never played the two songs. Right? And I was fucking raging. Like, do you think, what's, obviously for your point of view, you are musicians, right? So you might understand that a wee bit more. I get the fact you're trying to promote an album, but would you always go back and try and play your kind of fan favourites?
I think you should always stick to playing your fan favourites. I think the mistake most people make when they say like Ben Howard or whatever, a mistake a lot of people make is they just listen to the singles that are released. Listen to the album.
Aye.
Listen to the full album. Don't just listen to the singles that gets released.
Yeah. Aye. But that's the thing. Like, I loved his album, as I said, and the gig was still brilliant, but there was a wee part of me I felt a bit robbed. You know what I mean? I was like, fucking bastard.
in my old band, Ciaran, it was obviously with my best mates, Ferry and Tam. We had a daft song called Livestock Haircut, and
I seen the video.
We actually hated it, but everybody loved it.
He's hated that? No way.
Oh my god! But everybody wanted to play it.
Aye.
It's like the stupidest name ever. Livestock Haircut. So obviously you've seen Dumb and Dumber.
Aye.
So Eddie came into the studios with a new haircut, and he literally looked like Lloyd Christmas. And he was stuck with it, and that's where the song came from.
You think sometimes as well it comes from maybe playing a song too much that the artist might go, I'm fucking sick of playing this song. Like,
See the
Aye.
process of recording?
Scott there.
Scott's like, aye.
Fuck aye, man.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it was, mate. Maybe he was just fed up with everybody asking him to play these songs, and that was it.
And it's a shame though, because like you say your Gangnam Style, that guy Psy, listened to 1 billion times, and you book out a gig and you go, hey, I've got 4 songs, I'm only going to play 3 songs, and I'm not going to play the one that's got 1 billion hits on YouTube. I'm fed up yet.
Nah, you shouldn't really do that.
No, I don't think Psy has ever booked a gig, in my opinion, because I've not seen him.
So, for instance, we're new to the band, so there's other songs on Spotify.
Yeah,
the arcade state I've got. The most popular one is called Let Go.
Let Go.
We've not played that. Ciaran doesn't like it.
So is that going to be something that's going to rear its head when it comes to he's playing a gig and you're not going to play it, or?
Well, we will learn it.
Uh-huh.
But it's a song that, like, when I'm trying to play it, I recorded it with 2 guitars. So this is a mistake. This is like a learning curve for me. So a mistake I made was putting something down on the recording that I can't play live. So now when I try to play it in the studio and it doesn't sound like the recording, it annoys me. So.
Right. Does it take away a lot for the song, or does it take away a wee bit, and it just annoys you?
It's the whole tone, the punch to it. I can't get that when I'm playing in the studio because I've only got 1 guitar.
Aye.
So.
And you can't have 2 guitars.
He's actually got 3 guitars, but he's only got 2 horns.
You should get one of the. You know a guy called Andy McKee, is it?
Aye.
And he plays the 2. He's got the big double guitar. He plays that.
I thought I'd imagine that. Just play it with your toes. Just get your toes out.
It's just. I don't know if it's something maybe me and him can look at. The guitar.
If you get your toes out in the studio, I'm gone, man.
All right. So we've got the David who spoke 4 times the podcast is now saying, if you get your toes out, you're off. Because it's toes that really get them talking about toes.
That's just changing it up in a way I don't like now, man. That's unfair.
Is that a wee secret fetish you've got, man?
He's like, I can't focus in the studios because they just keep pulling their toes out, and you know what I'm like?
Get good money for feet pics, by the way.
You do.
Mate. I wouldn't know.
Good answer, mate. You brought it back. So, see when we're talking about gigs and stuff like that, what you play, what's the process of coming up with a set list? How does that work?
A set list is weird, isn't it?
A set list can change 50 million times before you play the gig.
Aye. You're kind of trying to just list the songs to play in a way where it keeps the people watching entertained.
And keeps it flowing.
Like, say you start off with 2 fucking songs that are just like right in your face. After the 2 songs, you can just bring it down a level, like pull it an acoustic guitar or something. But you've got the set's got to have that balance, just so it keeps like the audience entertained through it all.
Right. Here's a question for you. We'll start off with Scott. What's your favourite band that you've ever seen live?
Oh, Rammstein.
Rammstein. Really?
100%. Oh, fuck aye.
When did you see them?
I've seen them about 6 or 7 times now, man. Seen them in London, Newcastle, Download Festival, Germany. I've seen them a few times. Like, they're just next level, man. And if you're in the first, I don't know if any of you ken who they are, like, but if you're in the first 20 rows, you're leaving with no eyebrows. And if you've got a fringe, it's getting burned clean off your face, like, gone. But their whole, like, when you go and see a band like Rammstein, it's not just a set list, man. It's an entire show of pyrotechnics and fucking all sorts, man. It's that's what I admire so much about them. I don't know how many bands I've seen, man, and it's like just this rehearsed as fuck set list, but they've no rehearsed stuff like crowd interaction, the way you move on stage.
Yeah.
Because there's so many things you can't account for, like when you're doing your rehearsals. Because if you're on stage, you need to rehearse almost kind of how you're going to move and
Right.
still be able to play the things that you're going to be playing and sing the way you're going to be singing. And that's something you actually have to rehearse in the studio before you think
That's
of the day
mental,
live.
because I never knew. Like, I just thought, see, when bands were on stage, I thought it was all sort of like reactive stuff, ad hoc, just
No,
in between songs, they're chatting away and they're saying certain things and stuff like that. But that's cool to know that it's actually they've thought about these things, because it just shows you how much time, aside from your rehearsing for your actual music, goes into putting together a show. Do you know what I mean?
it's not like they're sitting like scripting out what they're going to say
Aye,
to the crowd, but they've always got a rough idea. They'll always kind of say roughly the same things, maybe a wee bit different every time. But generally, the way they move on the stage and stuff like that, like they've either done that for a lot of years or that's how they practice. Like once they've got the set tight as fuck, they move on to perfecting the actual show itself, and that's a whole different entity apart from just playing the set list. Because MD can stand and play a set list when they're standing in the studio. You know what I mean? But it's not just about standing, because when you're playing live, you're never just standing still. So you've got to be able to play and move and sing at the same time and can a beer.
Yes, yes.
That's the most important.
That is by far the best.
Have a wee bottle of Doug hanging out of the back pocket, man. Just ready to get a swig between each song, man.
Absolutely buzzing to see this first gig, man. Just see the keys laid out, the beers there.
They'll be fucking seeing me laid out in the flare.
Right, Davey, favourite live gig?
It's between either I went to see Beartooth in the garage, and that was just chaos, man. Like, they had a brilliant set, but it was more the actual gig environment. Everybody was just flying about, hooking each other, headbutting each other. I came back with a bust nose and a black eye.
It's horrendous, man.
Oh no, it was great. So it was between them or I went to see the Snuts in Motherwell, and it wasn't so much that they were my favourite band, but it's like see obviously they've been fairly local band. The size of the stage they were on, with how many people were there, that was when I was like, right, I want to be doing this. So that was quite a good one for me as well. So it's definitely between those two.
Brilliant.
Pick one. You need to pick one. Pick one. You can't use two.
I'll go for the black eye, Bertha.
There we go. That's the stuff. Got a decisive man among us. Who do you want to go to next, Gav? We're going to ask Ciaran or Jordan?
We'll go Ciaran.
Go Ciaran.
Go for the young brother.
Hard. I'd probably say 1975.
Really?
Good
Aye.
band.
Aye.
Brilliant. Where did you see them?
I've seen some good bands, but oh my god, the production, everything, the way the stage was set up, their sound live as well, it was just unbelievable.
Where was it you seen them?
Where was that? Bellhouston?
Was it the
Bellhouston Park summer session?
I seen them at the Radio 1's big weekend.
Aye.
They were brilliant. Aye. No,
unbelievable.
Sorry, I can't relate to the last two fucking hard rock gigs. But 1975, I remember being really drunk, going, I really want to see them, and I made sure I made it. And I was like, wow, they do sound so similar to the like production, didn't they? Like,
he was shocked. I hate them, right?
But
so I went with Ciaran, and honestly, they blew me away. They were unbelievable. Can't stand them, but the live show was unreal.
Why do you not like them? Because they're coming on here next week.
I think everything sounds the same.
You think they sound the same?
They've got a very unique sort of style, haven't they? It's quite different.
Style, but all the songs kind of sound similar.
Aye, I know what you mean.
I get what you're saying.
The album they just released.
But I mean,
fucking piece of shit.
But they nailed the set. They nailed the set. They nailed the show.
They came in at the right point when it came to music, because I've only heard Chocolate and about 3 other songs, and I can't even name them, and I've never heard of them since.
Aye.
I've got my pulse on the beat of music, and I know what's good and what's no. So they're no, and yous are, so that's fine. Moving on. Jordan, best live gig. You've been in tons of gigs. You used to go to gigs every other weekend, didn't you?
Aye. It's got to have to be Biffy.
Is it?
I just love them, man. They can write the shitty song ever, and I'll still love it.
So is it a biased opinion you've got here?
Aye, it's 100% a biased opinion. But they put on a cracking
Right,
show as
good
well.
show.
Aye, well. And they just like, see when you see people putting effort in and actually doing it when it's natural. So Scott's talking about people moving about stage. You get people that you can tell that are like faking it, faking the movement, faking
Right,
it.
okay.
Aye.
I better move here now. And, right,
So
okay.
if you watch, there's a band called Idols. They are quite mental. If you watch a live performance for Idols, like they're not the best band, but the energy they put into a show and the movement, it's insane, and it's kind of, what's the word I'm looking for?
Energetic, no.
Unique.
No.
Effortless. Synergy.
Kerry, you reading a fucking dictionary, aren't you?
I've got one here, mate. Never without it, me. Effortless. What's the word we're thinking here?
Infectious.
Say again?
Infectious.
Infectious energy.
Infectious energy. That's such an easy word.
Good word, mate.
I know, mate, but
A great
we got
word.
there in the end.
We did. What was yours, Gav?
Mine's with Stereophonics. Unreal, man.
Stereophonics from Wales. Where was that?
It was in the Hydro.
Oh, wait a minute, I've lied.
Oh, we've got a liar amongst us.
We've
We've got a decisive man, and now we've got a liar. Liar.
It's the Killers.
Oh, right,
Killers.
okay.
Nice.
What year we went in?
Insane.
Was that their new album?
They played everything.
They played everything, but did
it
you prefer
Transmit?
the old stuff?
it
Transmit.
Transmit?
Aye.
I
You prefer the old
do
stuff,
prefer the
didn't
old
you?
stuff. They played it all.
They done that. They were at the big weekend as well when it was in Glasgow, and I was like, I like the old stuff, loved it. One or two of the new stuff was good, but
Oh, he was
they
unreal.
put on a show, mate. They put on a show. You're
Aye, brilliant.
very true in saying that.
See what you said.
Talking about a month ago, man. It's brilliant.
John, see what you said Biffy there?
Enough.
I went to see Biffy in the Hydro, and it's the first time I've ever experienced a semi-mosh pit. Fuck me. I don't know how he's there. Like,
Oh,
I don't think it's an organised thing, Gav. I don't think people practice.
No, it happens all the time.
You're just getting battered to the beat of music, right?
It's not organised. It's not organised.
Scott has seen a proper mosh pit.
Aye, that's what I mean. That's why I said semi, because it definitely wasn't as bad as what I've heard. But
Scott would have had.
Aye, it's like
as we know from every other episode in this podcast, I'm not the tallest of men. So
same, mate.
See when you were stuck in that fucking mosh pit, and I'm the smallest person there, and that's including the woman.
Oh,
it wasn't a good experience. I'm not going to lie. Pissing a sweat.
What did you do? Did you just get the fetal position?
I did, mate. I curled up into a wee ball and just rolled out.
Aye.
Mate, I'm small myself, so see a wee tip. See they go for cunt's legs. Sorted.
Go for the takedown. Go for the takedown.
I've not got a choice, mate. That's all I can reach.
Davey's quite ripped as well. Davey's quite a toned gentleman, eh?
Is he?
He hits the gym, aye. So,
right.
I
want
don't
to promote
know.
your OnlyFans page, David, as well, while you're on here?
Nah, I'll keep that separate.
Perry toes.
Fetish.
That's what it is.
Okay.
That's bad. I thought mosh pits just, one guys will just start a fight and then everybody just got involved and it just became a big, massive disturbance. Don't know, it's quite an organised thing. And Scott, you're the expert here when it comes to it.
There's fuck all organised about it, man.
Thank you.
The one thing that is good about it is, well, most of the gigs that I've ever been to, if there's been a really big or bad mosh pit, man, like, there's folk falling all the time and, like, getting trampled on, but see as soon as people see people on the floor, they stop and they pick them up, like,
very
there's
considerate.
a lot of they are fit for, like, they'll pick you up, then they'll wrap the nut in you.
Aye.
So it's like
it's like the whole Kevin Bridges thing, innit? When they'll stab you before your ambulance.
Aye, kind of. Aye, they'll be like, oh my God, you're right, mate. Right, man. Boom, right, let's go.
It's not a Glasgow thing, yeah. That's quite good that it's not just us that are hurt by the stigmatism of being bad people.
No,
in mosh
man.
pits.
I've been in quite a few absolute mental ones. One of the most brutal mosh pits I was ever in was at the Barrowlands for Enter Shikari. That
Really?
was absolutely nuts, man. Aye.
I thought you were going to say Germany somewhere or something there. I don't know why.
No, man, like, but even down at Download Festival in Donington Park and stuff, where you go in and it's just a mud fest. It's just insanity, man. You're slipping all over the place, and there's no. You've just got no grip or friction. You're skating about, pushing down.
Can you actually enjoy that?
Yourself.
I mean, I'm no all there. But I'm there. It's a lot like out my tree. So I enjoy it.
You don't remember the worst date, like.
No, man, I've got one of
Remember
the
good times.
like hiker backpacks full of Mad Dog, man.
Is that what you like? Is that what I saw you for a wee cut of Desperados there? Is that what we'd normally go to about the Mad Dog again, aye?
No, I like Despers and cider, and I love my whiskey.
Love a whiskey.
But if I'm out and about and all that, I do like a wee dog.
Wee dog.
Takes me back to my old days.
The glory days.
The glory days, man.
What's your favourite flavour?
All of them, man. I love strawberry.
Strawberry.
Have any of you three ever? You I know you've had it, Gav. Have any, Gav, Davey, Jordan, Keelan, have you had Mad Dog yet? No, Mad Dog.
Yeah, I've tried a few bottles.
No,
Unfortunately,
I had that. What was it? Gav, dragon
fruit. Aye.
That was actually really. It tasted like a cocktail. It was really nice.
Dragon soup.
No, the dragon fruit, the new flavour of Mad
Dragon
Dog.
fruit, a Mad Dog.
Oh, I have seen that, man. Oh, that looks fucking mint.
That's the most enthusiastic thing I've ever seen.
It is, mate. It is. It's really tasty, but
The melon one's really nice as well, eh?
Right, we're becoming like some sort of podcast that reviews his Mad Dog. Let's just.
Right, Kenny, what's your favourite gig you've ever been to?
Ed Sheeran at the Barrowlands, mate. There was no.
Knew it was going to be Ed Sheeran, mate. Knew it was going to be Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran at the Barrowlands before he started proper making it. That was class.
At the Barrowlands, that must have been.
Aye, so it was right intimate in a sense, and aye, that's it. I've been to. I've seen Drake a few times, but it's no as. I feel like that was quite an intimate wee experience, which I really enjoyed. And now he plays stadiums, so
lost
you went to each other. So you did.
After about an hour, never seen each other for the rest of the night.
Shout out to Anne Stark for the.
Aye.
It was a couple of freebies.
But back to the most important people on this podcast, mate. It's no us, is it?
It's no us. It's
so
how's your just before we go? See your screen when it comes to the Zoom call. It's me and you at the top, and then like Arcade State below us. Is that you? You're the same one? You?
No, mate. No.
It isn't my screen. I don't feel that I'm above anybody. I just wanted
to. So we obviously, Jordan, you sent across some of the stats and stuff like that, and you guys are very much international. So
global. I would say global.
Aye.
International.
Same thing, pretty much, isn't it?
No, I don't think international is just us in Europe. But it's global.
Is it?
I don't know. Maybe I'm making up.
One
in this.
in the favelas of Brazil.
How specific are the stats that he's pulling up though? Like Clydebank.
Very specific.
Nah, it's mental.
We'll need to have a talk about it. Well, no, we could talk about it now. Is that just through Spotify pulling the stats through?
There's an app partner to Spotify. Is it Spotify Artists?
Oh, past 1,000.
Oh, we've just
past 1,000.
Yes,
exclusive.
So it's called Spotify Artists, and obviously you sign up, get your login.
Can you see that?
Get your login and get your password.
Yes.
Oh,
and that gives you that basically just breaks down everything.
Where
breaks down where it's been played. It breaks down the age and what's the
the demographic.
Aye, 41. Is that 41%? 43% female, 50% male, 0% non-binary. So we need to get that.
Up. Wow! You need to get that up. You really need to start getting those
non-binaries.
Up.
The highest percentage of the age groups is 28 to 34, 39%.
So we know, for what you said, your top countries, America, is that still the standing at the moment, Ciaran?
US of E, perhaps. Buffalo is the top city.
That's Gav. Go Gav. Hit him with it.
Right, so I said to Kenny, Buffalo's in New York, and he went, no, it's no.
I thought Buffalo, New York.
That is.
It is?
So Kenny thought it was in
I thought it was a Texas place just because I think of Texas.
Buffalo, New York. And the reason I know Kenny actually is because Drake sings it. Shout out to Buffalo, Never Ducking Low. And then it's across the border for Toronto at Niagara Falls. So it's Buffalo and then Toronto.
Nice.
Anyway.
Drake knowledge.
Why do you think these are so big in America?
I honestly don't know.
No. Do you think it's a style of music? Is it maybe a bigger style of music in USA, or is it to do with population maybe? That
I don't know. Like Germany's second, so
true.
it's not even like it's not Scotland or UK. Isn't even
Up there.
one or two. So
where is it?
I don't know how to explain it.
It's just the algorithms on Spotify. It's just where it gets like
Where it gets recommended.
Aye. So.
That's mad, eh? I thought there was maybe like, you said a big family out there or something, and no,
just leaving it. No, but where's the UK sitting? Is it
doesn't it go UK though?
I think it's third. You're gonna double check.
Second.
Was it second now?
So
moved up, Germany.
Moved up.
Good. Good.
So how do you feel about that then? We'll get to the UK at the top, won't we?
What's your thoughts on that? Like, he's quite like, that's we knew that, or he's buzzing, confused?
It's cool, but it's definitely it's obviously just to start.
Oh, definitely.
So obviously the song that's just been released, like we didn't record that. That was just Ciaran and the two older bandmates.
Right. Okay.
So we're actually, it's an exclusive. We're booked in to record on the 28th and 29th August.
Exclusive.
To record a new song.
Lovely.
So that'll be the first release that the four of us will actually
have together.
Be on. So,
a wee special moment.
Really looking forward to that. And for a song, it's like it's our song, but it doesn't feel like ours because we've not recorded it. But I think we've pushed it pretty well.
Yeah,
very well.
So obviously it's Ciaran's song, but I've pushed it hard, and
I understand.
I'll push it even harder when we get our actual own stuff and own recording, because it just feels more ours. I think Scott and David will probably feel the same. It's like it's hard to push something that you didn't play on.
That's what happened to me with my old band, because I'd just joined, and just after that they released a track as well, so it was just totally similar feeling.
You're promoting something for somebody else, but
it's like
you need to keep the mindset.
It's not so much
you're
promoting it for somebody else, but it's just like it's a weird feeling, because it's like, oh, check out my band that I'm not actually in yet.
That's
what I felt like.
The weird thing was we actually obviously recorded a video. So me and David are playing the drums and bass that we didn't record. But the two guys, they done a good job with the recording. So the bass and the drums were up to a good standard.
Yeah. What was the music like? The music video, sorry, like what was that like to try and record? Was it quite an enjoyable experience? Or?
Oh, it was really fun.
It was a pure fun day, man.
Really fun.
Is a story? Any stories for it?
David must have taken.
David was just
some sort of.
David must have picked up some sort of mushroom. Like one minute he was here, the next minute he was like.
I kept doing my mad wee dance, man, just on top of logs and shit. Like, they'd be doing
dance. David, give us an exclusive.
There you go, mate.
For example, like if Ciaran was like here singing his bit, I was like up in the back of the forest just doing this.
Oh, he was that's a fortnight dance for you older. God, man, these wee guys are having a rare time in there.
So that's what I done the whole day.
A big fortnight dance then.
We got in amongst a waterfall. Yes.
Did you?
So I felt like you're Andre, man.
It was like fucking mysterious girl makes take that. It was class.
But so is that something that you would tend to release for every song going forward? Is that what you're planning to do?
Aye, you need to try. Aye, that's like any big festivals and stuff, or any big like producers or record labels. That's what they look for. They look for what you've got and what content you've already put out. Because if you've already released content which looks good and is of good quality, then they think, right, these boys know what they're doing.
Aye. So, and you're dedicated as well, do you know what I mean?
Aye, exactly.
That was us going and recording and doing a song that we hadn't performed on, so
aye.
You would probably say that there was less motivation, but as soon as we got there, it was just a brilliant time. Obviously, it was my pal Greg that recorded it, so and he also done it for like free of charge as well.
Did he? Wow.
That was nice.
So
that was medium.
What was it? About 8 hours?
It was
about 8 hours. Aye. was just fun, just a laugh.
That's the way it should be, though. Like, even Faye making videos, Faye being in the studios, Faye being on stage, it should all be fun.
Like,
if you're not enjoying it, there's no point, is there?
I think because it was Greg and like obviously me and Ciaran know him, it was less awkward to like walk past a tree if you're not like
yourself.
I just felt. I feel like if I'd done that with somebody that I didn't know, it would be kind of awkward. But there was no awkwardness with the video anyway.
Good. No, that's good to hear. But see,
it's funny.
I'll take this. I'll do it.
On you go, mate.
See how when we're asking, we've asked a couple of certain questions and then Ciaran, how much have you looked into this and how producers or people who are like headhunting artists and that, have you been on Google, YouTube, all the doodads and all the thingamabobs to find out what they look for?
Pretty much, I just looking into everything, websites, blogs, anything that I can read, just reading up about it, finding out ways that you can better your chances of getting spotted and stuff.
It's just because when Gav asked that, it was like you were like, people look for this and this and this. I was like, wow, that was such a good in-depth answer.
Funny what you said, Kenny, as well. Like, if you're not enjoying it, there's no point, because effectively, same with us. Like, a lot of the time, you're working for free to start, and you're doing a lot of things just because you love doing it. Do you know what I mean? Like, if we felt this podcast, for example, was a burden on us, we wouldn't do it. Do you know what I mean? There's no point, and it makes it a lot easier to do. And you're doing things with you're effectively mates. You all used to have brothers, obviously, but you become mates as well as a band. So it makes it enjoyable to. And that's the same for us. You know, we get, at the worst case, you get to spend time with your mate, make music, record a podcast, whatever you want to do. It definitely makes it a bit easier.
It's a brilliant feeling. So it's obviously like me and Ciaran are brothers, so we obviously know each other. But David and Scott coming into the band, you get a bit apprehensive about who you're going to meet and how they're going to be. Are they going to get you? Are they going to get your banter? Are they going to fit in? The both of them are actually just after nut, so they fit in pretty well.
I'm just scared of Scott, man. He's about 9 foot taller than me, so I watch what I'm saying, man.
Scott, you're a tall guy, are you?
Scott is a very tall man.
I'm the short arse of the band.
I know you're paying me. I'm the short half of this podcast, and there's only 2 years. So imagine how I feel.
You're the most beautiful person in the podcast, yeah.
Oh, thanks, mate. First compliment, brilliant.
First compliment. I just second name is Hollywood, so.
Thanks, mate.
It's a win right there, man.
And my second name Hollywood. Jesus Christ!
What a name!
Thanks, mate.
Unbelievable.
But anyway,
you're talking about the stats and that. So, are you purely just on Spotify, or is there anywhere else that people can listen to you?
You can listen to the songs on every single major streaming platform. Apple, Music. iTunes,
Tidal,
Amazon, Deezer, whatever that one was. Gav, you said yesterday.
What did Gav say yesterday?
What did I say? Was it like Google, something like that?
God knows, but it's everywhere.
Everywhere.
We upload to Anchor, and then Anchor's owned by Spotify, and Anchor
distributes it.
Aye.
So is that we use the same? No,
I use new bands.
Aye.
Right.
So
it's just interesting to get a wee peek behind the curtains and see how you get it out there and how people get to actually listen to it.
And also, it's quite good. It's quite good for people to hear how much work actually goes into something. Do you know what I mean? Because for somebody who just listens to the music and stuff, and sometimes you don't really appreciate how much work you need to do behind recording and behind creating and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of admin stuff that goes into it, and marketing and whatever he's doing. Do you know what I mean? So it's good to let people know.
That's why we wanted to invite you into the studio as well, just to give you a wee bit of insight into. It's not just a case of just going in and playing the song.
Aye.
It's a lot more.
Well, I've never been in a recording studio ever, so
the offer's there, Gavin.
I'll be there next time.
Tuesday 12 to 6 or Friday 12 to 6 we're in, so we're doing.
Oh really? Every week.
2 6-hour sessions this week.
What days?
Tuesday the 28th, Friday the 31st.
Right, okay. Kenny, you busy?
I can be free, mate, because I've been there. I've already been there, so.
Right, okay. Right, I'll definitely check that out, 100%.
Have you been playing guitar, Gavin?
I have, mate.
You're learning guitar?
I've started to learn it. As I say, like, I can't read music, right? And to be honest, I've no interest in trying to start learning to.
Aye.
I just watch, like you're talking, Ciaran, I just watch videos and listen to what they're playing and try and mimic it. Really, it's not. That's it. It's
Even-
very. Sorry?
Even for you to come into the studio and play a guitar that's plugged into an amp,
Definitely.
you'll definitely get a shot.
My guitar's worth about £60, so that'll be something different. 100%.
But yeah, you'll be playing some guitar
Expensive
in the amp.
equipment. Just remember, Gav, this has been recorded, so if you don't turn up, man, you've just really let us down. So
I mean, I'm reliable. I'll be there. Don't worry.
you're reliable.
You also need to watch the video.
Aye.
Aye.
Get that reviewed for your next podcast.
Aye, I know. But no, it was good to see getting that opportunity to come into the studios, because it was. I was like, I know Jordan and Ciaran, and I now know David and Scott. Just didn't get the opportunity to sit down and have a chat with you and stuff, and it's just were in the zone. It was just mad how like Ciaran said a song and it picked up and boom, that was it. It was just unbelievable, because as I say, the man's used to played a few songs like, how long has he been doing this? And Scott's like, it's my third hour. I'm like, what? Like, he was that. I've only a lot of times in all, because it does sound like a finished product, and I think that's where you are probably leaps and bounds ahead of a lot of other people, because a lot of people would just try and take their own spin on it, or try and add in this bit or that bit, or maybe listen to what you, as somebody who's new into a band would say, listen, try and get this way, try that way. It just seemed to like boom, click.
I think it's like you said earlier, we're all pretty confident in what we're doing. We all know where we should be coming in and out and trying new things. So I think it just, as you said earlier, gels dead well with each other. So
how important is it for everybody to be on the same wavelength as well? Like I'm assuming you've maybe met people or been in bands or whatever that you could probably have people who are, it's all about them and their views and stuff like that. Do you need to be on the same wavelength? And if somebody doesn't like something, you need to be honest and say, nah, I don't.
100%. If you don't like something, you say it as soon as you can.
Aye.
It's no being offensive to anybody or trying to put anybody down.
Aye.
It's just saying, like, try something else.
Aye. I don't know about that. Just question it. Aye.
So I feel like in my old band, like with Tam and Ferry, we like the same music. So everything was the same.
Aye.
So with Scott and David, they like different music. They've got different inspirations and influences. So I think that adds a lot more creativity to the band and brings different ideas, because they've got different, as I said, influences and it just adds a lot more to the music.
Dynamic,
He's that unique sound.
You do need to be honest, especially because if you're all going to work together and you're all going to push on, and hopefully this is going to, go mainstream and make millions of money.
Obviously, you came into the studio and you're saying we sounded like a finished product, but we are far from that.
Exactly, no.
We've got a lot of work. We've got a lot of work to put in.
And when you had your board up, it was like there was songs, and then there was like new ideas, and it was like it's mad how it's not just like this. Like if you're a band and you are bringing in new members, the first few times should just be. I think maybe you should only have 2 or 3 songs, and that's all you practice. But you're already at a stage where you're going, we'll try this and we'll try that, because you're already kind of nailing songs.
Again, that comes down to the talent, the individual talent, and the dedication you've got to it. Do you know what I mean? So why not?
Definitely.
Why not? 100%.
And remember, I was speaking to Scott, and Scott had already practiced and stuff like that, and had already kind of done his homework on the band, so he knew what he was coming into. So it's for as much as it's 1% of your week, it's only 2 hours. Some of these people, like David and Scott and Ciaran, might be another 10 hours in their house. Jordan's not get drums, so he can't do another 10 hours. Unless he sits with like a pot. Like, so as much as it might only be 1% of your week, the full band's doing other stuff and other things and thinking about what they could do here and what they could do there. So for somebody to get home and coming into a new band and doing their homework, just shows commitment already, as opposed to just turning up and, aye mate, bing bong bing, aye, this is fun, and you're like that.
I was a wee fanboy before I joined, man. Aye, man. I was turned up to a good few gigs.
That must have been quite good. That must have been quite cool for you, but being a fan.
It was class. It was good.
What I did want to mention is, Gav, you will get a manly horniness when you see Davey's bass, man. It's like the Mate, it's what is it's
You got it, Davey?
It's
It's
no
a
shiny
thunder.
back.
Do you want me to go grab it then? Eh?
Ah, you can get it.
You need to open your curtains then, because we're slowly
Give us like 5 seconds.
Right, go for it. Go for it.
I'll not talk about that anymore, because it is, mate. It's so cool, man. It's unbelievably cool.
Scott, shows your saxophone, man.
It's up the loft, mate.
Is that a motorbike behind you, Scott?
Aye, as I.
Do you go on the bikes? Do you go on a bike?
Aye.
Jeez, oh man.
You get cooler by the minute.
I'm
Isn't
getting a new bike next week. That one's I was cleaning that up today. It's getting sold tomorrow. Well, it's already sold. The guys, the courier's coming for it tomorrow, so it's giving me room for my new bad boy, man.
Your new bad boy, your new hog. I find them
Yeah,
the most
man.
petrifying things in the world.
There you go, mate.
Oh,
It's like-
nice.
See,
It's stunning, man.
It's not giving it the
The
justification.
guitar's
that it's
nice as
due.
well.
It's like a matte. It's a matte black King Gavin. It's all at one big piece, a pure matte black, and that. Like,
That's nice. That's really nice.
like a marbly red effect, man. I couldn't stop looking at it.
As I said, my guitar is worth about 50, 60 quid. It's shite. So even see the top of the frets, like all my wee dots that are all like rubbing away, and it's fucking horrible.
Look at Ciaran. Ciaran's having a fit in the room, and he's like, just
Amateur.
a guitarist.
Disgusting.
I'm definitely not, mate.
It's disgusting.
But
See, for you, kind of having to go and buy kit and stuff like that, it must be so expensive. Must be an absolute
Oh, mate,
fortune.
I'm skint.
Oh, fucking Facebook Marketplace, man.
I think that's the place to be for people who are looking to kind of start music. That's where they should go and look.
As long as you know what as long as you can what you're kind of looking for, as long as you know what you're looking for, you can get some quality deals on Facebook Marketplace. Because buying the stuff new, like, you can be you can literally be any amount of money.
Aye. So I
It's
find that, like,
insanity.
a guitar, like Gav's get, like, is it an acoustic guitar, Gav, that you've got?
aye, mate, aye.
So I don't know the difference between an acoustic guitar for 60 quid to an acoustic guitar for £3,000. Like, I don't know any difference. So
It's the sound, mate.
It's the sound and then the materials it's built with.
you think the different
Who's
woods-
playing it?
Aye, what I was thinking myself, I was thinking, surely if you give a pure talented person this guitar or drum or like bass, then they'll know what they're doing and it'll all sound the same, but then definitely not then, no. It's all about the wood.
Not really, man. If somebody's, you could literally go and buy a guitar for 10 grand, mate. If you're shiting guitar, you're still going to be shiting
Aye.
guitar.
Aye.
So
If-
you need to, if you can't play good in a £60 guitar, then you shouldn't be buying a guitar at £200 or 200 grand or something like that.
Aye.
You can't play in a shitey Hello Kitty guitar. Then you shouldn't be playing. Then you shouldn't be buying anything else.
How did you know Gav had a little kitty
A
guitar?
Hello Kitty. The price range in it, that speaks volumes.
Scott, you've just crushed my dreams, man. I was going to buy a £2,000 guitar there as well.
Mate, fucking just do it, man. Fuck it.
Right, so
Get it, Dig.
I'm
Def-
gonna-
Sorry, Kenny, just before you say it, but just my brother's, he plays guitar as well. He's actually really good, right? But his guitar is so much better. And see, every time the first thing I do when I go to his house is like, I'm going to go and get a wee shot of the guitar because it sounds so much better, man. Like, it's amazing how different something can sound.
Oh, aye.
the construction or
100%,
something.
man.
Aye. Sorry, Kenny, mate, I cut you off
100%.
there.
Right, so hypothetically, right, let's say this song goes well, you release a new song, goes even better. A lockdown's all lifted, the world's went back to normal. You're getting booked for one big gig, right? So what gig would you like to play? Let's go with Davey first. Davey, you'll play any gig in the world. We'll get
man.
back to you.
It's mad. Nah, come back to me. Let me think.
Right,
It's mental.
wish I never picked you now, sorry. Scotty, you seem like a decisive man. David was earlier and I called it, but now he's no. What gig you want to play?
Barras.
Barras, you like the Barrowlands?
Nice.
what reasons?
Barrowlands is it's just my favourite venue, man. It's stinking and it's sweaty and
Still
it's just-
carpeted in it.
I don't know. I've just got a lot of good memories in there, man. And I've played a lot of venues in Glasgow, like, and there's only there's only really the three kind of big ones that I've no played, which is the O2 Academy main stage, the ABC, but obviously it's burned down now, and the Barras. I've played the second stage in the Carlin Academy, and I've played the second stage in O2 in the ABC when it was there. And I've played the rest of them really, so that there's nowhere else I really want to play apart from either main stage at Carlin or Barrowlands. But Barrowlands would that'd be like a dream for me, man. It's always has been. Oh, amazing, man. Even supporting somebody, just to be there and be in the stage would be incredible.
Oh, Davey, man, you've got a lot cut out for you now,
Got one now, mate. Got one. How do we think?
Right, go for it.
Right, okay.
Main stage, Tea in the Park. I think that would just be fucking chaos. I think it'd be great.
Aye.
Tea in the Park.
Aye. Oh, well, there's got to be a reason for it, just because it's chaos, or just because you've been there and you've...
I think it would be class. Just see if you've got music out to the extent that many people like it and will turn up to see you. That's just got to be some feeling, isn't it?
And plus, everybody's pissed and they just enjoy it. Do you know what I mean? Like, even if you... Say again?
You better get a DeLorean because Tea in the Park's gone.
No, it's transmitting me a bit.
I
didn't want to piss in these
pots. Just clap my thunder like that one. Yeah, you go.
Oh, you just pissed right in his fire.
That's fine, man. Embers are still there, mate. It's all good.
Did you, Jordan, have you played the Barrowlands? No?
No. Second stage.
No. Second stage.
Barrowlands 2.
As you were. Sure. Where are you playing?
Me?
Aye, you.
I just want to start off with a nice wee simple gig. King Tuts or something like that.
Brilliant.
I'd say that's quite a big gig.
It is a big gig, aye. It's like it's kind of like a breakthrough, like for a lot.
I know you've played it.
It's not like wee venue, aye.
We spoke about in that, but I thought that would be. You just want to keep it low and.
I just want to keep it a show. A couple of 100 people, and just play and smash it.
Just enjoy it.
Just enjoy it, aye.
Right, okay. That's quite a humbling answer. Nice. Right, Ciaran. Sit there quietly. Come on, buddy. You've had loads of time.
The Barras.
The Barras as well.
Aye. Sell it to Barras. That'd be.
I remember when I was there that there was drink dripping for the ceiling and stuff like that.
That was the drink, mate. That was like piss for the toilets or something.
Pint somebody threw probably in it. Oh, it's quite interesting and eclectic. Well, 3 different answers for 4 people, but.
Kerry, where would you like to go and see Arcade State play?
Probably King Cuts, because that would be the cheapest I get to see them. Because if they're playing, I can't go to Tea in the Park, but if they're playing Transmit,
that's the one.
If they're playing Transmit and that, it's going to be more pennies in it. So it's good to see them at the start as well. And it's good to see a band and go, listen, I remember seeing them before they were really big times. It's good to have that sort of history with somebody.
What about like you say?
You want to go and see them? You want to go the same as me because I've had a good answer.
No, I don't know, man. Like I'm probably along the same lines as David. Like
in the studio,
and I would like to see you in the studio, mate. That's first and foremost, aye. But either an intimate gig, like maybe you say the Barrowlands or Usher Hall or something like that, or something like a festival. I just think for your type of band, like I would love to see that at a festival. Do you know what I mean?
Festival would be cool to get on the festival lineups.
What's that venue called round the corner for the Barras again? St
Jude's?
Luke's.
St Luke's. St Luke's. That's really nice in there, but that's the old church, isn't it? It's converted an old church. Aye. That's beautiful.
I know that is.
I've been to a couple of gigs in there, man. I'd love to play in there too.
One of the best gigs I played is Oran Moore. That was good.
Oran Moore's good. Doing the stair in it.
Aye, great sound in there.
Aye, well, there's a good question for the rest of you as well. Where's the best sounding gig you've been to? That you've played.
St Luke's. Now you've said aye.
So you've that's mad. Davey's played there. Scott, do you say you've played there at St Luke's? No.
It's always been up there, man. But it wasn't when we were playing up in Glasgow back in one of my old bands and stuff. It wasn't even a venue then.
Wow.
So it wasn't. I didn't even know it existed until last year, and I went to see my mate's band. He's the drummer for a guy called Youngblood, and he's massive for the new man. He's up on Radio 1 and he does videos with that Billie Eilish bird and all that. So they played down, and we went. Me and the boys went to see him, and it's just incredible, man. What a sound, and it was just and I love all churches and stuff like that as well. So
that's
I've always been into that. So
that's probably like one of the reasons why it sounds so good as well in these
churches. The acoustics is insane now.
And just off the topic for music, the restaurant in St Luke's is fucking amazing as well.
It's stunning,
the food's brilliant.
Like mad vehicles hanging off the ceiling and all
that. I just used the toilet one time because we were waiting for Bill's tool store to open up. We nipped in and used the toilet.
What kind of vehicles? Is it a DeLorean?
Get back to Tina Park, yeah, Davey?
It's not going away for a while, is it?
1.21 gigawatts.
Right, Scott.
It still began with a T, so I don't mind.
It's all in good jest.
What about yourself, Jordan? Where's the best place you've played?
It's probably Oranmore, aye. It's probably the best sound. The best sound. You go to a lot of these places, and because the venue are paying the sound guy to do your music, he's not actually your personal sound guy. You rarely get the sound that you're actually wanting for a gig. So like King Tut's and stuff like that. It's always quite underwhelming.
Aye, so what you're in your head, you're thinking we're going to sound like this in there. You turn up and the sound guy can't get your.
Aye, just doesn't tune
it the way
doesn't sound the way you envisage it. Sometimes, not all the time.
I find it a lot in a lot of venues that are kind of the lower end of Glasgow's music scene. The vocals struggle to come through a lot. I find that
it's just because people put their instruments up too loud.
Aye, 100%. Aye.
And we're working on that majorly in the studio at the moment.
I remember.
I get the perfect sound.
But that's again, that's something that you all agree on, rather than somebody going, no, I want my drums to be heard, or I want my bass. Or,
oh, you hear my drums? Don't worry about that.
I know. I did think when I was coming out of these studios, it would have been like a pad on it or something, so it'd be quieter, but it wasn't. No.
Oh no.
No.
Get my wee set of brushes.
Find
somebody else then. Fucking hit him
for that. Oh. Where's the ruckus, man? Let everybody calm down. Where's the harmony? Bring it back.
There was never any harmony. That's the fucking point.
Actually, they love him.
Aye, that's the main thing.
Right, Ciaran. What about yourself?
The best place I've played for sound was probably Audio.
Oh, is that the West End?
Audio's class, man.
It's up the town under one of the tunnels.
Oh, right, okay. I'm thinking radio.
That was the first gig I had done. So I was playing still acoustic at the time, and then I hadn't played for a few years, and Jordan was playing in a band called Vices at the time, and they asked me to support them, and that kind of got me back into music and that. So that's
reignited the flame a wee bit.
He didn't gear up, but he just wasn't as passionate. And I seen his talent, and I just didn't think he should be wasting that.
No.
So he just got where he was, and he got a good response, and he was brilliant that night. So
that was a good gig, man.
Kicked off of there. Me and Ciaran tried to go in the studios, but I kind of didn't want to start again. So Ciaran was coming in with like no ideas and it, like just kind of jamming, and I was just like, I just don't want to start again. So he ended up getting the two guys that he knew. Oh, didn't he know?
No, I didn't know them either. That was a whole brand new thing as well.
But honestly, no word of a lie, I always knew I was going to be in this band.
Did you?
Really? Aye.
Inevitable.
When you first met the two new guys to create the band that you're in now, was it quite daunting, Ciaran? Because your acoustic stuff was really, really good, like really good. So you're totally changed kind of the music you put out now. So coming in with two guys.
I always wanted to be in the band, so I think like I'd been trying for ages to get people in to start something up, and then it just wasn't. It never ever came to anything. But then these two guys messaged me, and when we got in, it was good, man. It kind of just worked. So it just went for there. But then obviously,
one thing led to another, and
I don't want to go
day.
into
But
of course.
we're all the positive vibes in here, bro.
Actually,
they were good.
They were good. No.
I actually knew Scott before he joined in. So I got a random message off my pal Liam Pollock. Kenny, you know
Liam Pollock, really? Do you know Liam, Scott?
No.
No. Okay. That's weird.
I don't care any cunt up your way, man.
The other, one of the other boys,
you know us though, so
I know I use. Aye.
one of the other boys, Ross. He knew Liam, and they've been in a band for a while, like Scott, Ross, and Andy. So they were looking for a drummer, and Liam messaged me out the blue. My pal's band's looking for a drummer. I just thought, fuck it. I hadn't played in a while and I was missing it. So I just thought, fuck it, I'll go for it. I went to the studio, I went straight after work, I think. And
it was like straight after work at night.
I think the venue got changed, didn't it, as well, last minute?
Aye, because we get double booked that night.
And honestly, like, he'd sent me a couple of songs and stuff, and it was good. So I think I was going in with a good idea, but I was terrible.
Was he, Scott?
So I was like, right, give me next week, and I'll show you what I can actually do. So we got into the studio the week later, and I think it just clicked for there, and we were just kind of jamming songs, writing music. But my work at the time, my roster was just horrendous, and it was so difficult to work around it and get the time to go in. So I just I wanted to be honest and straightforward with him, that I just couldn't kind of commit to it. Which it was annoying because I really enjoyed playing with him.
I got a wee bit of passion, a wee bit of fire in your belly again.
This opportunity came about.
Aye.
Scott literally randomly messaged me just saying, "I'm glad that you're behind the kit again. It's good to see you, like, you're not wasting it." And he said, probably jokingly, if you're ever looking for anybody that plays the keys, give me a shout. And I said, well, we actually are. We're actually all looking for somebody.
I was more looking for a fucking reach around.
So we got him in and offered him it after an hour.
Aye.
Brilliant. See when you're saying that there, like, how difficult it can be. Obviously, if everybody's working as well, when you're trying to create something, how hard? Well, obviously, right now it's probably quite. I'm not sure if you guys are still working just now or whatever, but this situation that's going on just now might benefit you in a sense because you're getting familiar with each other. You're starting to build something.
100%.
How difficult is it when you go back to work and try to find time? Does that when it creates it becomes a bit more difficult to try and put out content?
It's difficult, but it's not impossible if you want it.
100%. Aye.
It is difficult though, because we're all working different times. I work in the airport.
Right.
I work in security in the airport, so it's obviously 24 hours. You can work any mad shift that you can think. But now they've changed the kind of shift pattern, so I'm doing 12-hour shifts and getting more time off.
That's good. Aye.
And it's just so much easier. And we can really kind of get in when we want at the moment. As I said, we're going for 6 days this week. So that's a commitment to everybody. Scott's coming for air. It's like, I know, we're only 15 minutes away.
Scott here, his flamethrower.
It's a fucking weapon, this man, I'm telling you.
What's your beard?
Mate, it's been burnt so many times, man.
But this is what tests you. See when you go back to normal life and all the lockdowns all lifted and Ciaran's back working, David's back working, you're all just your normal life. It'll test you, but I think you'll be fine, like you said.
100%.
You're all showing the same sort of commitment level, you're all vibing off each other the same way, and I'm buzzing to hear this song.
Right. I'd like to think we're all really committed.
I'll be alright. We'll be fine.
See, what is the plans for the future then? Obviously, it's kind of unprecedented times just now. Live music you can't really do just now and stuff like that. So obviously when we get this new update that lockdown is going to be a bit relaxed a bit more. Sorry, what is the plans for there? Is it just contacting venues and try to get yourselves out there? And...
We're already booked to play 2 shows to close this year off. So
Magic.
They are depending on circumstances.
Government guidelines and that, then hopefully we go ahead.
It's the goddamn government putting you down, man. It's goddamn government. It's Boris's fault. And well, no, so much
Fucking Thatcher. Who should do venues? We've been booked for.
I missed that there, Jordan. What did you say there? What did Jordan say there? Seagulls? Is that, where's the seagulls coming from? Who's got seagulls in their house?
That's me, mate. Fucking live at the sea. And I'm in my fucking garage, my man den, so they're literally on top of the roof.
They're really loud.
Okay, I know, they do my fucking tits in, man. What's that?
Two good venues.
Two good venues lined up for the end of the year.
We have another photo shoot booked.
Nice.
Obviously, because Scott wasn't there the first time.
Yeah.
So the big man's going to put you on his good shirt.
Looking suave.
And get some photos taken.
With Gab's spare set of glasses on.
What else have we got? Recording, obviously, we've got recording.
Rehearsals.
And then just fitting rehearsals into that.
Brilliant.
I think we have decided it's still not going to record, so...
I think when the venues aren't there, the best thing you can do is just release as much content as humanly possible, man. Write and record and do a video. Write, record, do a video.
Yes, man.
There's no point in releasing like albums and stuff like that. You may as well just spend the time to work on that one track that's absolutely class, and then you do a video for that, and then you work on the next one. You get a wee bit more kind of traction that way, rather than writing 5 songs. One of them's absolutely class, and the other 4 are not quite as good as that one. Do you know what I mean? It's better to put all your focus into one at a time, I think.
Especially when you've got the time as well.
Good to have this time.
Aye.
Especially for our situation. It's perfect.
Well, if you're ever struggling for a venue, you can always do it for Davy's Back Cave. Looks awful intimate in there.
Aye. You do like an online.
Right, no my room. I've bumped my wee brother's room for doing this now.
Appreciate the prep, David. Appreciate it.
You can use the back garden, but that's fine.
Right, well, any other questions, Gav?
No, the only thing I want to really see is hopefully when things start to get released a wee bit more, we can get another podcast sorted with you guys, and when things start to get properly rolling for you, and maybe even do it in the studio, we can get, do you know what I mean? Something a bit more scenic.
Definitely come back on if you invite us.
Oh, 100%, mate. Open door, as always. So,
what's all the social medias people can get you on?
How do we find you?
We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter,
Tinder.
Tinder.
Getting a 4 for 1 deer.
Tinder, plenty of fish.
Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
What about these have a YouTube channel or anything like that? He's on YouTube. Right. So just Arcade State.
The video's on Facebook, so as many people check it out as possible. Give us feedback. We like feedback as well. Good or bad, just your honest opinion.
Feedback, mate. Aye, regardless if you good or bad.
And get the song played on Spotify.
Remember,
I'm responsible for at least 15 of they plays, mate, so far. So
Jordan.
You genuinely like the song?
I do actually genuinely like it. Aye. We were listening. Kenny came up yesterday or the day before.
2 days ago.
I think it was the day the song released. Actually, wasn't it? It was Friday. It was. Aye. And we had a couple of listens to it. Aye, and I like it. Really good.
Cheers for taking the time to listen to it as well.
Aye, class.
Cheers to Jordan for being an FPL.
There we go.
One of the FPLs.
One of the original OG.
Mentioned
full podcast listener.
He's number 1.
Would you say that, mate?
Your mum?
Oh, my mum. Aye, she's number 1. I know.
Your mum's number 1. I'll
number
take
1 FPL.
Easy.
We'll wrap it up here then, troops.
Wrap it up. Good to go.
Thanks
Listen,
very
guys,
much for having
thanks
us,
very
man.
much
Cheers, mate.
for coming on. It's been a pleasure.
Aye, class.